because of the weight disadvantage.
Dude, can you imagine, bro? You're fighting Canelo Alvarez, man. Nobody ever heard of you. Nobody even knows your name, all that stuff, bro.
But I'm excited for that. I know Canelo, he's so big, so strong, and I think he'll be just too big. I mean, weight classes matter.
Floyd Mayweather responded to talk of Terence Crawford fighting Canelo Alvarez by calling it a strong matchup, but warned Crawford to be careful. He emphasized that boxing isn't a sport to play with, especially with the clear weight difference, and advised Crawford to think wisely before stepping into that ring.
And it's a good matchup with those two. You know, may the best man win. But this sport is something that you can't play with. Boxing is something that you can't play with.
Terence Crawford is determined to prove everyone wrong, saying the Canelo fight is a big challenge because he loves challenges. He says nobody is that big and believes in his skills. While people criticize him for choosing Canelo, saying he's too big, Crawford is focused on showing he can handle it.
Because of the challenge. Yeah. I love the challenges. And I love the people that I hear him now. You're too little. You know, Canelo gonna break you. He's gonna stop you. You come from 147, that weight too big, this and that. I can hear now. And that just excites me to go in there and just be like, okay, let me prove him wrong once again.
That fight would be gigantic. If Canelo gets through Jamel and then you guys fight, that fight would be gigantic.
And it's crazy because, like, in the past interviews, I was like, man, Canelo too big, man. It's weight classes for a reason. I was like, nah.
The sport of boxing is built on the foundation of weight classes for a reason. These divisions exist not just as formalities, but to protect fighters from facing opponents whose size and power could pose serious risks. When the discussion turns to Terence Crawford facing Canelo Alvarez, one glaring concern keeps surfacing. The massive weight difference. Canelo operates comfortably at 168 lbs, while Crawford has made his name in divisions far below that fighters and analysts alike are unified. In their concern that this jump in weight might simply be too steep for Crawford to handle.
They have weight divisions for a reason, right or wrong?
Right. Manny Pacquiao, bro.
Okay.
What's your take on Manny?
Pacquiao didn't move up 3 weight divisions at once.
Okay.
Fight a pound-for-pound fighter.
Okay, so Canelo's got it. How does Canelo get it done?
I don't know, man. It might be the boringest fight ever. It might be the best fight ever. But I will tell you this. It's not a fight I truly care about. Crawford's not really entertaining. So I don't really care about who he fights. But I will tell you like this. He's a tremendous fighter. He's a great fighter. But he's not really entertaining outside the ring. There's nothing that makes me want to be like, I can't wait to see the next Terence Crawford fight.
Aren't holding back their opinions either. Rolando Romero openly stated that weight classes are there for a reason, pointing out the obvious size imbalance between Crawford and Canelo. He even predicted a Canelo victory based purely on physicality. Floyd Mayweather, who famously beat a young Canelo Alvarez, recently reflected on his own experience. Even though Mayweather won that fight, he made it clear that Canelo wasn't the same fighter, then that he is now. Canelo has grown into a powerhouse since that loss, more mature, stronger, and physically dominant. Mayweather acknowledged that while he was older during their clash, he still recognized Canelo's potential and power.
Crazy that, Canelo said that, because when Canelo fought me, he was in his prime. And when I fought, I was an old man. So I wasn't in my prime when I fought Canelo. I was an old man when I fought Canelo. Just like this right here, young guy. Even though I'm old, I got a lot of experience. I'm gonna go out there and just show him that this is the elite level, and it's something totally different.
Boxing icon Mike Tyson didn't mince words when discussing the matchup. For him, the idea of Crawford stepping into the ring with someone like Canelo is a mistake. Tyson pointed to Canelo's strength, his aggressive style, and his ability to wear opponents down with relentless pressure. Tyson believes that this kind of fight may not end well for Crawford, stressing that the risk outweighs the reward.
Mike, I gotta say this. Terence Crawford, tremendous fighter. You're a big supporter of his. He wants to move up 3 weight classes and fight Canelo. What do you think?
Yeah, he can do any work, but I don't think it's a good idea.
Why?
I just don't think it's a good idea. I don't think, what would he have? I don't know. I just don't think it's a good idea. People thought they was crazy like that before. Just say he doesn't have to do it. He doesn't have to do it.
Rising star David Benavidez had a more conflicted opinion. While he respects both fighters, he admitted he would prefer this fight didn't happen. Benavidez understands that Canelo is the money fight in boxing right now. Everyone wants a piece of him. However, he's uneasy about the extreme jump in weight for Crawford. In his view, chasing greatness is admirable, but it shouldn't come at the cost of fairness or safety.
Crawford throwing his hat in to want to fight Canelo at 168.
I mean, everybody wants to fight Canelo. It's the money fight. You know what I mean? I think even Inoue would come up to fight Canelo. Canelo wanted to fight him. I mean, I don't want to see Crawford to fight Canelo, to be honest with you. But it would be. I'm not saying it wouldn't be a great fight. It'd be a great fight. But I feel like if I deserve my opportunity, and and after this fight, what else are they gonna say? You know what I mean? This is a tough fight. You know, the top WBC, the top people ranked at WBC are fighting each other. So I mean, it should be an easy call. If I can't get those fights, and I'll go up to fight Bivol, or I'll go try to, you know, I set my conquest on 175. Like I said, I don't want no handouts either. I want to, you know, earn my spots everywhere I go, even at 175. But you know, I see that weight class. You know, I want to become champion at 175, and that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Amir Khan, who has already shared the ring with Canelo, delivered one of the most heartfelt warnings. Looking back at his own experience, Khan admitted he underestimated how much the size difference would matter. He described Canelo as a beast and stressed that he learned the hard way why weight classes exist. His message to Crawford was simple: proceed with caution.
Canelo's a beast, man. Canelo's a beast, and you know, when it was offered to me, I tried to chase the Mayweather fight at that time, and it happened. And obviously, I was probably at my peak of my career there as well. So, whoever I was gonna fight, I was gonna give him a hard fight regardless. Because we were probably winning that fight against Canelo until he knocked me out. But yeah, I was boxing well. But you know, one thing, sizes. Now I understand why they make weight divisions in boxing. Every weight division. But then again, look, bro, you would probably take it. I was offered like 10 million quid, bro. 10 million quid, bro. Look, end of the day, this is like, it's a lot of money, you know. I thought about it. What made me, when I got the deal on the table for 10 mil, I was like, should I take it or not? But then I worked it out. Normally I have to have 3 or 4 hard training camps and fights to make that kind of money. That's still one fight. So you gotta do it in that one fight, you know what I mean?
Does Canelo beat Crawford?
Size, bro, remember, but Crawford then is a big boy as well. Crawford's a big guy when it comes to weight. A box fight, yeah.
You think?
I think Crawford, in my opinion, but size might matter. But then again, I think since when I fought Canelo's become a better boxer. He started boxing more better. You know what I mean? Technical more. Especially against the last fight against Mangui. He boxed really well as well. And he's looking really good. He's still, a lot of people might say, oh, he's getting old, this and another. But no, Canelo's still a beast.
I mean, Eddie Hearn says Charles Smith's levels above Adam. What do you think?
I think today, Adam proved he is probably at the same level, but in my opinion, both guys want to fight.
Boxing analyst Showbiz, the adult, added a chilling viewpoint. He described hearing Canelo's punches up close and noted how dangerous they sounded even when not thrown at full force.
Spaceman Films. What up, Biz? Who you got? Canelo Crawford.
Yeah, got Canelo. I heard the punches that he hit Charlo with. I don't know if Crawford can absorb those punches. I know he's a great man and a great warrior. When you come from 147 to put on a better fight than Charlo, I mean, I don't even know what that means. I don't know if that means that Crawford is so great and he can do that, or that means that Charlo set the bar so damn low that anybody could do better than Charlo did last night.
Do skill really pay the bill? Because that would be tough.
Pay the bill. That's why Canelo feels so good.
Joe Rogan, a longtime fight commentator, emphasized how hard Canelo hits. Rogan wasn't analyzing strategy or footwork. He was focused purely on the physical damage Canelo can inflict.
There's just guys that just have preposterous power, and Canelo is a guy that has power but is constantly working on it. There's a great clip of him working with Andy Ruiz. You know that shield, that weird hand shield that they hold up for hooks? Yeah. And he's like, this is not for speed. This is just power. Just power. He's like, don't try to be fast with this, just power. And you see him just, hey, boom! Bro, he hits so hard.
Sports analyst Stephen A. Smith didn't hold back either. During a live interview, he flat out said he hated the idea of this fight. Smith believes that the gap in weight and power makes the contest unsafe for Crawford.
Let me tell you what I think should be going. The notion that Terence Bud Crawford should move up 3 weight classes, 21 pounds, to to fight Canelo Alvarez. He's entirely too small. Jermell Charlo already proved that. Y'all remember that scene from Rocky? Remember that scene from Rocky 2? When Carl Weathers was Apollo Creed and his trainer was like, can I be honest? I saw you beat this man within an inch of his life. And he kept coming. He wouldn't go away. He's wrong for us, baby. He's wrong. Let it go. Apollo couldn't do it and lost fight number 2. Trained him for fight Rocky 3 and then got killed in Rocky 4 by Drago because he couldn't let it go. Bud Crawford needs to let it go. Too small.
Legendary Mexican boxer Julio Cesar Chavez gave a blunt prediction. If Crawford goes through with this fight, he will get knocked out. Chavez respects Crawford's abilities, but believes that Canelo's strength at 168 is simply too overwhelming. His decades of experience add serious credibility to this warning.
The two fighters are going to be different weight classes, even though they're going to fight on a specific weight. He believes that they're just going because of the money, Crawford, but probably Canelo is going to knock him out.
Sean Garcia joined the list of those warning Crawford. He acknowledged Crawford's boxing intelligence, but emphasized that Canelo's physical presence creates a wall that might be impossible to scale. Garcia believes that in this particular matchup, skills might not be enough to overcome raw size and strength.
Him and Crawford?
Yeah.
I think Canelo just too big for Crawford. I mean, Terence Crawford is another, amazing fighter. Got to give credit when it's due. He's an amazing fighter, very talented, and he'll for sure give Canelo a fight, and Canelo knows that. But I feel like Canelo will use, his experience, his weight, and how big he is, and I think he'll overpower Terence Crawford like in the later.
Boxing promoter Eddie Hearn provided an interesting take by calling it a freak fight. He argued that while it may attract attention, the massive weight gap makes it feel more like a stunt than a legitimate contest. Hearn added that if Crawford wins, fans might still discredit him due to the size difference. On the other hand, if Canelo wins, it will be seen as business as usual.
How is Crawford going to be able to bridge this weight gap?
Yeah, I don't think he can, in all honesty. I mean, he might not be able to bridge it on Saturday.
Yeah.
So,
one weight class.
68, yeah, but you're coming up from 35. 35, 40, 47, 54. Sooner or later, it's one too many. And 68 is definitely too many. But Crawford's brilliant. Like, he's a genius. He's a generational great. So maybe he can find a way to do it. But I feel he'd be hugely outsized against Canelo Alvarez. Yeah. But you have to use your movement. If you're Terence Crawford in that fight, the last thing you want to do is stand and trade. He'd be moving a lot in that fight, trust me. I'm not saying he'd be running, but he would be moving a lot. Of course, that's the way to beat him. Yeah.
Trainer Joel Diaz added that one of Canelo's biggest advantages isn't just throwing heavy punches, it's being able to take them from big fighters. Diaz explained that Crawford might find it difficult to hurt Canelo in the ring, which could leave him vulnerable over the course of the fight.
A lot of people that say that Crawford can beat Canelo, no problem. I mean, I respect that, but I just think they're stupid. I mean, excuse my language. The size difference of a bigger man changes everything with one punch. And I can see the same thing. I mean, you saw Canelo Alvarez fighting Amir Khan. Now, look at this. Terence Crawford moved from 47 to 54 to fight Madrimov. What did he do to Madrimov? Nothing. Okay, Madrimov was a 54-pounder. Now, to move up to 168, that's 2 more divisions. Canelo Alvarez will take any punch from Crawford, but I don't think Crawford will take any punches from Canelo. Remember, Canelo got hit by Triple G, the heaviest hitter in that division. And Canelo took those shots like a champ. I don't think Crawford has anything to beat Canelo.
Oscar De La Hoya, former champion and now a promoter, labeled the fight a money grab. He questioned whether it made sense from a competitive standpoint and referenced boxing history. In nearly every case where a smaller skilled fighter took on a much larger opponent, the result favored the bigger man in a detailed discussion.
William who? Canelo versus William Skull. William who?
Oscar being back in New York over here.
No, let's just say Canelo Crawford.
in the history of boxing, and this is the facts.
Let's get it.
No, if you see Thursdays, Fact Thursdays, I speak the facts. All right, I'll even do it for you. Okay. A good little man has never beaten a good big man in the history of the game, unless you go back to certain situations with Pacquiao beat me, but I was a dead man walking anyway. But a good little man never beats a good big man, so it's a tough test for Crawford, but I'm not counting him out. The bottom line, this is the truth again, it's a money grab. That's it. Yeah.
But Crawford doesn't rely on his power, he relies on his IQ. Crawford, what he did to Spence was magic, was incredible, was amazing. And so, look, one thing about Canelo is that we all know that he walks in the ring as if there's wet cement, right? His footwork is a little too heavy. Crawford is such a smart fighter where he can he's like Bruce Lee, literally. And he's in his peak, he's in his prime, and so I think that if that fight ever happens, which I don't think it will, if that fight ever happens, I have to go with Crawford.
There you have it, Oscar De La Hoya talking about.
Journalist Dan Rafael clashed with Stephen A. Smith. Rafael argued that Crawford isn't doing this for a paycheck, he wants greatness. While Rafael respected Crawford's motivation, even he admitted that the road to victory would be treacherous. According to him, Crawford would need a flawless strategy just to have a chance. Not everyone is against the idea, though.
I think Terence Crawford is a marvelous boxer, arguably the best in the world, pound for pound. But can you hurt Canelo? If you can't hurt him, I have no doubt he can outbox him. My issue is, if you can't hurt him, what kind of a challenge can you truly pose? What do you say to that?
No, that's a great point. I mean, here's the thing. Canelo Alvarez has a historically great chin. Now, I go way back when he first came to the United States and started boxing, and he found himself on an HBO pay-per-view undercard years and years ago, fighting against the older brother of the great Miguel Cotto. His name was Jose Miguel Cotto, and he had gotten a ton of hype. He had signed with Golden Boy Promotions, and a lot of those of us in the media, and I had seen him a couple of times before that. This is my first time seeing him in person, really paying close attention, and he almost got knocked out in the first round. And I remember Stephen A., all of us looking around at Media Row going, what the heck is this all hype about? This man can't take a shot. He's going to get drilled. He was lucky that the fight was over, that the round was over in round one, or there might have been some much more trouble. Stephen A., that was 16, 17 years ago. I've never seen him wobbled, rocked, physically, visibly hurt since then. He has an all-time great chin going in the ring with tremendous punchers. Terence Crawford coming up 2 weight classes. Do any damage? Yeah, he's a slick boxer, and he's also a good puncher in the welterweight division, in the junior welterweight division, in the lightweight division. But even at junior middleweight, which is where Terence Crawford had his most recent fight back in August, when he moved up and he won a world title, he didn't blow the doors off. He fought a very tough, solid opponent named Israel Madrimov. He gave him a good fight. It was very close. Madrimov's people seem to think he might have even been able to edge it out. But if you can't hurt an Israel Madrimov at 154, what the heck are you going to do with Canelo Alvarez, the sturdiest guy in the world, at 168? So that aspect of it is certainly a problem. You mentioned about Charlo. Charlo was there to get his check. I know one thing about Terence Crawford. He's not going to just come to turn up to get the check. He'll at least try. And Charlo, I don't think.
Famed trainer and commentator Teddy Atlas is one of the few experts who gives Crawford a real shot. Atlas pointed to Crawford's intelligence, toughness, and adaptability in the ring. He believes that Crawford is the kind of fighter who adjusts mid-fight and refuses to be beaten mentally or physically. In Atlas's eyes, if anyone can defy the odds, it's Crawford. The upcoming showdown between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez is one of the most talked about what-ifs in modern boxing. On one hand, it could be a historic moment if Crawford manages to overcome the odds. On the other hand, the size and strength disparity could lead to a disaster.
Come on, he's human. So he had a few hiccups. He won the fight. He's Terence Crawford. A lot of people say, "Oh, Teddy, you make him so good. You're always saying how great Crawford is." But who's he beating? He unified the what was his first division? Lightweight. Then he unified the junior. Then he unified the junior welter, then he unified the welter. I think I got the weight classes right. It doesn't matter. He unified 3 different weight classes. He moved up in weight.